Hey, and welcome back to my channel. So I have some really exciting news today, and I am actually going to go for a dance audition, and this is a 1 day's notice audition, and that will be tomorrow. The leotard that I'm picking for this is my favorite one, and that is the American Ballet Theater leotard. That is a halter neck. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my apartment a little bit and do some reading and just head to bed. I'm not going to do any sort of preparation, maybe some foot exercises. But most of the work will be done, I think, right before class, getting warmed up and mental clarity. So I think what will be most helpful is a really good sleep. Maybe I'll watch a ballet before I go to bed. And I haven't gone to an audition I think the last one was 3 years ago. But in terms of a ballet audition, I've never done any ballet auditions. I've always either taken a class or something and then got invited for something. But this will be my first formal ballet audition. So we'll see how that goes. And right now I'm drinking my green juice and I'm having some pears. This is my post dinner. I had some fish and squash, and I don't know how I feel just yet. I haven't completely collected my thoughts. I think I'll probably have more to say after the audition. And yeah, so it's a really good feeling. And my cheeks are actually hurting right now from talking about it. And I just got off the phone and I was talking about it a little bit, and I decided, you know what, whatever happens, happens. And this will be a very different experience than what I'm used to, because the school of training for this is the Russian style, and I'm usually English with the Royal Academy. So this will be very different, but it's not like I've never had any sort of Russian training before. I did a good year of that this past year, and prior to that it was mostly in intensive settings and watching a lot of videos online. So I think I have an idea of what they might be looking for. In terms of my flexibility, I'm lacking in that department, but I think what will serve me well is if I was to work on some of that tomorrow morning as opposed to tonight, because I could end up being very sore the next day. On top of this, I actually fell up some stairs last week, so I have been taking it easy in terms of, I haven't been exercising. I'll do some mat, hip and leg workouts, but I kind of fell on my arm and then I completely fell in the end. But I'm not as fit as, I would have been a few weeks ago, I would say. But on the other hand, I haven't overdone it in any of my workouts because I haven't been able to do any exercising. On a higher note, I'm able to lift my arm and I'm not in any pain. The leg or the ankle that I twisted on, it's doing pretty great. So I don't have a whole lot to worry about. The dance I'm really happy, by the way, that I already packed my dance bags, because I would be sweating a little bit if I didn't. So I'm all ready. and I'll be picking out my black bag, and I'm just moving some things around because I haven't completely organized all of my bags. So I had to move a few things, I would say, around so that I could have everything that I needed for tomorrow. And I'm going to go with my dance bag to work and my flexi stretcher. And you know what I'm probably going to do on my lunchtime? Foot exercises, stretching in the park. But that will be my day tomorrow. So, and I'll probably need to pack some snacks because I need to keep my energy up, because right now it's about 6 o'clock, 5:30, and I came home and I was just totally exhausted. So that has been a major hurdle for me within the last year of taking all of these ballet classes, is being able to keep my energy up throughout the day so that I can not just perform, but to also do the technique and work through the exercises, really take them in, and also take in some corrections and be able to apply them. And for choreography retention, that's really important. So those are the 3 things that, you know, being fueled throughout the day will help with. And, you know, I've learned these things throughout the years, and this is part of the next steps for me. And it's funny because, you know, I'll be one of the older people in this class, but it'll have to be a very transformative process for me. And I've already noticed that, you know, 1 or 2 weeks will go by, and, you know, whether or not I'm training consistently, I'll see some drastic changes in my dancing. So I'm headed in a very good direction, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. So a lot of progress has been made, and I'm more confident. And I always thought, you know, when I'm working on, you know, projects, I would really need to have someone else to help with all of this. And, you know, being able to train in the way that I am right now, I'm learning that, you know what, I could end up with some teaching certifications, and I could also do this. I mean, I've already known that, and I always taught, you know, guest workshops, or, you know, as a substitute teacher. But I think it'd be really awesome if I was able to actually have my certification so I can do certain things. Not that teaching is my end goal. It's not, because I need to be on stage. I love performing and I love creating. So this is just another stepping stone or a block in terms of what I need to build that next few steps for the end product. So that's a little bit about my audition, and I would love to post a video at some point regarding how to get ready for an audition. And I think I'm going to have to post one for I guess commercial styles, because I feel like ballet is a little bit different in that, you know, what I would be doing for a commercial dance audition would be, I would say, maybe 40% different than a ballet audition. So to some people that's not a lot of a percentage, but for me, and I think a lot of people can concur with that, there are different things that come into account for a ballet audition. So that is what I'm up to for the next few days, and I'll be doing this audition, and then I'll find out in a few days whether or not I've made it. And to be honest, I have no clue. I have no clue what results I'll end up getting. You know, I also haven't danced in maybe a month and a half, 2 months, in terms of ballet. So that and my point work is something that I've always needed to work on, but being in something like this, it'll really force me to increase my technique and my leveling up and working on my flexibility. So, you know, I can do the jumps and I can do the turns and everything, but in terms of the intricacies and, you know, the fine tuning of, you know, things like my petit allegro. I used to be called the Queen of Petit Allegro, but I think I lost that title over the years. And that is okay. So, anywho, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.